Hey everybody, it's me, Root Beer, and we're gonna do a box opening of the CoroCoro set. And if you're wondering if this is because I haven't uploaded anything in a while, you would be correct. And my locals had it, and while I was paying for the shop tournament, it was just like, hey, do you want a box of CoroCoro? I'm like, yeah, sure, why not? So this was a collaboration set alongside CoroCoro, which is like a manga magazine in Japan. Not really anything that happens in English. I don't think we have CoroCoro in English, and it doesn't seem to be a thing here. Apparently, it's a very popular, like, cultural thing in Japan, but we don't have it here. So the biggest reason why anyone in English might want these is because aside from all the collaboration decks, it also includes a bunch of reprint cards for things like Sergawon and Shenri, although they've been restyled as like these CoroCoro cards, as well as things like the Order Cyclers from Set 11, so stuff like Taste Fault and the like. So, they do include this little thingy here about how to like create a ride deck and all the rules for deck building. This is being marketed as a start deck pack, so seems the intention is that you're going to be able to like build a deck out of this. I don't actually know what the ratios for this box is going to be like, so I don't know how feasible it is to be able to build a full deck. And the full box also does include promos for like the energy counter and the energy generator, which is pretty nice. So, let's open this up and see what we get, shall we? You know. So, like I was saying, like a big reason why this set would be popular in English is because we're all really looking forward to just reprints for all of those expensive staple cards. Uh Things like Shenri, Saragalon. I think Shenri is cheaper just because, the Dragon Empire decks that would use Shenri haven't been as popular lately, so the price has kind of stabilized around $20 last time I checked. But Saragalon, being part of Resile, which was a top deck for a while, means that like that card is like $30-$40 for the most part, and I'm gonna be honest, I'm not gonna really know what any of the shiny cards that come out of these packs. It looks like they are the 3 card packs, the same way that like Festival Collection is. And it is kind of unfortunate that like the reprint. Ooh, I'm pretty sure this is the Saragalon reprint. Nice, we're already like doing well on this. So yeah, as you can see, you probably can't read the text, but this is also treated as Saragalon. It has the same effect. It's just that this one has like a CoroCoro style art. Unfortunately, if you're playing Hound Razor specifically, this does not help you very much in regards to having Sargauon. You're just kind of stuck with needing the original because Hound Razor needs High Beast. But if you're playing any other Keter deck, which you almost certainly still want to have Sargauons, this is one to consider. So, really good. We're already doing well in terms of our reprint pulls. But yeah, I don't know if the reprints for these are going to have a huge impact on the English market the way they would for the Japanese one. What is this? The legend. So it looks like this is just like CoroCoro Searcher. Interesting. And as far so like I was saying, I don't know like if this is going to have a huge impact on the English market, unfortunately. It's really nice that we're getting reprints like this for a card that's super duper expensive currently, but also, because English, this doesn't have the same kind of cultural impact that it does in Japan. I really don't understand any of the references here, and it doesn't seem like any of the decks themselves are particularly strong meta-wise. It's like, how many people are actually going to buy them? Combined with the fact that they're these like 3 card sets, similar to Festival Collection, it just probably won't have the kind of impact that you want. There's a reason why things like the Dual Nation cards from Festival Collection always end up being like $20-$30 on release. It's just because the set distribution, the set distribution is so like not good, so scarce regardless that like I got lucky enough that I pulled a good card, but what are the odds that you're gonna get what you want out of a box, right? And yeah, so the style of these like CoroCoro style decks is they are all part of the CoroCoro nation, but they're also part of like mainline nations as well. So you see this one is like Dragon Empire. Or so you can kind of mix and match between like the CoroCoro cards and the Dragon Empire cards. I can't remember if the deck building policy is the same as other like collab nations like this, where if you're going to be playing a CoroCoro deck, it has to be all CoroCoro cards. Otherwise, you have to play like only CoroCoro or only Dragon Empire. I know like Vispo that was a thing, but you know, we didn't get that in English, so I don't actually know the rulings on CoroCoro because I can't imagine anyone's actually going to build this deck in English. You know. Also, there was like a buddy fight crossover with this one too. I can't remember. I know we got like a buddy fight OT. I can't remember if it was just like a generic overtrigger or if it like actually was like Dragon Empire or something. And I think like there might have been a buddy fight version of Shenri included as well. So, yeah. Again, I'm kind of opening this as a novelty and just kind of yapping about set distribution. It is kind of unfortunate, that like something like this really just doesn't have the kind of impact that it would in Japan, hmm, where, people might be more willing to just open it for the sake of opening it, but also in general, Japanese distribution seems better. So like more people would open these and therefore have more access to the reprints. If you look at a lot of Japanese topping lists, a lot of them do use the like CoroCoro arts for things like Taith Fault and the like. And so it's really unfortunate that like I don't think this is going to have the same impact in English. It kind of comes into a discussion that we've been having recently. If you go on Vanguard Twitter a decent amount, you know that Tyrus, the guy that does a lot of translation stuff, recently posted a tweet asking like what does Vanguard need? And a big conversation around that was just a different style of management from the Japanese game. The Japanese game seems to be thriving right now, like pretty big attendance for events. Seems like there aren't any major complaints about the game the way there was during the like COVID era with like the Luard stuff. So, you know, like the game's doing well in Japan, but that doesn't translate very well in English just due to like the different management practices and expectations. And so, something like this is cool in concept. I will personally take any reprint I can get. But honestly, it would be nice if Sergawan was just reprinted in a way that was actually accessible for people. And it sucks that because these cards are reprinted here like this, we're probably not going to get them in Festival Collection, where more people would be willing to open that set. And so, uh, we finally pulled another Triple R card. I have no idea what this is or what this deck does. Let's read it. So it has like the retry keyword. So you can soul blast one, look at the top 5 cards of your deck, choose a CoroCoro, call it to rear, shuffle the deck. If you choose retry I, reveal it, put it into your hand instead of calling it, and then it has the version up keyword, active if you Persona Road or have 4 or more damage. So basically the new limit break clause. At the end of the battle attacks, put a card from hand to soul, search your deck or drop for 1 me in 3 minutes chrono, call it to a back row center, and it gets power plus 10,000 until end of turn. If you search the deck, shuffle the deck. Cool. So I haven't really been paying attention to the actual CoroCoro cards. I'm just trying to see like how many good reprints we'll get. But yeah, you know, uh, nothing really here. Although the triggers here are pretty funny, and because they're dual nation and can work in like general, like Stoicheia and stuff, you might see people running around with the like funny baby Christianos triggers one day. So that's fun. Nope, nothing interesting here. Nothing here. And we're getting close to the end now, so let's go into the final stretch. Mm, I feel like we should be getting at least one more foil card out of this. Nothing. But yeah, and as you can see, I've gone through a whole box and we've gotten all of like 2 foils so far, so, you know, like whatever they're gonna do to try and like reprint something in this capacity, it's just not gonna make a dent in the English format. So it would be nice if we had like a better targeted reprint product. Oh, we got our third triple R, which is something for black. I'm probably not gonna read this one. because I don't care that much, but yeah, it sucks that this is theoretically a good thing because it's going to be reprinting a bunch of in-demand cards, but they're being reprinted so scarcely and you get so few foils per box because of the way the set is being distributed that we can't really get them. So it would be nice if Festival Collection in English was more comprehensive. Oh, we get four foils, so we also have Gebe and Owner. So this is like the grandpa deck. Oh, and this is the CoroCoro version of Latifa. So I already have a playset of Latifas, but if someone needed Latifas, it's kind of lame that okay, so maybe you will get it in a box. Each box only has the four foils, and it seems like just based off of this box, two of them are going to be the CoroCoro style reprints, and two of them are actual CoroCoro cards. And so it's how big of a difference is it going to make if these are as scarce, if not possibly more scarce than the original promos that everyone is looking for, right? So yeah, it would be nice if Bushiroad could treat the English format separately from the Japanese format. Clearly we need different management here, and my understanding from when Different Fight talks about their quarterly reports and everything is that the English format is successful. They do consider it like a profitable venture, but they also don't really give us any kind of regard, even though we're a perfectly healthy format and could really use some love. They just got rid of box topper promos. Can you believe that we just let them do that? I've heard a few complaints about it here and there, but not enough noise that Bushiroad ever had to acknowledge it. So yeah, that is the end of this box and the end of this video. So leave a like, leave a comment, let me know. Are you buying into the CoroCoro set? Were you able to get some desired reprints? If you did open a few packs, let me know down in the comments. Thanks for watching, everybody. Bye.